Mr. Butali. I speak as the chairperson of the organizing committee, but also as a classmate, as a friend and a collaborator of the man whose life and whose work bring us together today. This year's lecture is particularly meaningful as it coincides with Prof's 50th birthday. And 50 is more than a milestone age. It is a time where we reflect on our lives, we reflect deeply, not just on how far you've come, or become, but also on what your life has been in service of, and what kind of legacy you're intentionally building. My 25 years working in medicine, in leadership, on projects with government, but I can tell you that this team are one of the easiest I've worked with. So I would like them to come and stand up, if you don't mind, please indulge me, please. The local organizing committee, if you're in the hall, please stand. Dr. Bukola Amao Taiwo is not with us here today, unavoidably absent, but I'm sure she's watching. Mrs. Deborah Abosede Zenwa, please wave at the back. Can she see her? Please, a round of applause for her, please. Mr. Olakunle Babatunde, please raise your hand, please. Mr. Taiwo Butali, raise your hand, please. Nurse Nifemi Ayelomi, raise your hand, please. Mustafa Madeni, raise your hand. Let us see you. Be proud of the work you've done. Eunice Omoni, raise your hand. Let everybody see you. Remile Folly, raise your hand. Thank you guys so much. You've made my work so easy. And just to close this now, may today renew our commitment to leadership that serves, work that endures, and a Nigeria that is stronger because we chose impact. Thank you and welcome to the Professor Aziz Butali Lecture Series, A Life of Impact.
PhD, Moral Science, headed by Aziz Butali.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Simisola Alabi. That's a very good opening speech. But the video we were playing was it's an 8 minutes video, and we didn't finish it. So we'll start it over again.
Dial. PC, qualified, headed by Aziz Ghazali.
Love about the city. In fact, I'm highly impressed with the way he's taking care of widows.
What is so wrong that we always find something and this is something that I've also
Tell me you were not inspired by that video. I almost got carried away, forgetting why I was here. But you know, it's truly impactful and inspiring for all of us, and I hope it is for you as well. Just to continue with the strict adherence to time, I'd like to call on the Chief Medical Director, University of Lagos State, University of Lagos Teaching Hospital, I mean? Good. So I went to last year, and they always have that much. And so I would like to call on the Chief Medical Director, Professor Wasiu Lanre Adeyemo, to give the opening speech, also representing the Vice Chancellor, who is unavoidably absent. And thank you, Prof. So Professor Wasiu Lanre Adeyemo is a distinguished Nigerian oral and maxillofacial surgeon, anesthetist, an academic leader, and currently serves as the Chief Medical Director of the Lagos University Teaching Hospital and a professor at the College of Medicine, University of Lagos. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I look at the program and I realize that the time is very strict. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Even the lecturer, they're giving the maximum of 10 minutes to talk. So, and I don't think I find myself in such a situation that I'm given a microphone to speak for 5 minutes. But I will try my best. And not when we are celebrating Professor Aziz Butali. For those who know us together for more than 20 years now. I must first recognize Professor Oladapo Ashiru, OFR, the chairman of the radio station. My dean, Professor Kotoloro, and Professor Abdul Karim, and I must also recognize my boss, my mentor, Professor Ogunle Owe. She's not okay. And of course, I must recognize my HOD, Professor Olutayo James, as well as all the distinguished professors that are here. I can see Professor Arutuba and all that here. Professor Mosley, thank you so much. You know, this morning when I was coming, my wife saw the program. He was asking me whether Professor Mosley was going to be here. I said it's unlikely that he will probably be online. So when I came in, I saw Professor Butali. He told me that you are here, and honestly, the last time you were here was 2012. Is that correct? 2012. That was 14 years ago. So Professor Mosley, once again, you are welcome to College of Medicine, University of Lagos. The round of applause, of course. There's no way you are going to talk about Professor Butali that you are going to talk about Professor Mosley. Professor Lekone, so thank you so much for coming. Thank you so very much for being with us here. And I really, Moses, you are welcome once again. Thank you so very much. I must also specially recognize the family of Professor Aziz Butali. I think we need to stand for recognition. Mama. So thank you so much. You need to have a family like this for you to be to achieve what Professor Butali has achieved. Please sit down. I'm very happy to be there, and the compare just told me that I'm representing the Vice Chancellor. The VC may be here, because if the VC isn't here, that means she must be VC somewhere. I know that when I saw her name, I knew that she was going to come, but if she's not here, definitely she must be. What can I say about Professor Butali? Except to welcome all of you here today to learn from whatever that you're going to get to know about him here and about what he has achieved over the past few years. I remember that Professor Butali started from here, that's the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, and from there graduated, came for, not so many people actually knew that he came for residency, not so many people. He was here for about 6 months, before Professor Musi took him away from us for good. And from there to Iowa, to Iowa. And I remember, and I was happy for him, when he was done with his PhD, he was given his appointment in University of Iowa. I was with him, and I remember he was giving some document. If you remember, the document was about this eye, including, because that's what I also brought. Immediately I came back, I had to tell Professor Kushala that there are some things that we need to bring into our university. She was the provost then, including document on sexual harassment. If you remember, the document from University on sexual harassment is as big as this. That means all very serious university take the issue of sexual harassment seriously. And I'm very sure it's actually what actually really led us to have a document in the University of Lagos regarding sexual harassment. About Professor Butali. When you talk about living a life of impact, that means you focus on living purposely for God, and there's no doubt about that. I have done that. Professor Butali has turned obstacle into opportunities. I'm a witness. Professor Butali has also influenced not only his generations, but generations after his own. And I know I can make bold to say that unlike many people who have jackered, if you look at online, when Nigerians talk, Nigerians abroad, not all of them, but quite the size of them. When they talk about Nigeria, those are the people that are bred, buttered, eaten, digested in Nigeria before they move abroad. They had free primary education, free secondary education, even the university. They get abroad, and the only thing they say about Nigeria is negative. And I give this example. Is Nigeria really bad? Nigeria cannot be bad. Because nowadays, you take somebody that is educated in Nigeria, in many parts of the world today, you don't even need to do anything extra. Once you get there, you enter into the system. From the same Nigeria that has done that much for all of us, you get there and start saying negative things about Nigeria. But for Professor Butali, sometimes you don't even know whether it's in Nigeria or it's in the US. Professor Butali has also attracted so many, I think he deserves a round of applause. And I know, because I've been involved, that also he gave Nigerians, particularly, I know so many people from College of Medicine, University of Lagos, College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, and several other universities, including even in Osun State, in Kano, in Kaduna. Many people have visited his lab, and some of them are PhD holders today, and I think Dr. Butali deserves another round of applause. Professor Butali also sees challenges as a chance to be closer to God. And I know that, even if I don't know much about his foundation, I see so many things online regarding his foundation, and I'm sure one or two people will be going to come here to say one. And there's no doubt about me that Professor Butali is creating a lasting legacy of compassion. And he has actively choose to make a difference. And is ever ready to help others. Professor Butali, I'm happy for you personally. You know that we've been together for years. I wish you all the very best all the time. And I know that this is just the beginning. By the special grace of God, we are going to continue to soar higher. And I know that apart from your passion for what you do, I know that you are also absolutely very close to your family. I know that. I've visited you in Iowa before, and I know Mama Emma Kamuama. I know that your wife is there, but okay. You know, things do happen. Early this morning, something just happened. I had to wake up and make sure that we needed to sort it out with Professor Butali. And your family, they are the reason why you are where you are today. May God continue to protect them. Professor Butali, Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very kindly to the CM. Distinguished members of the academia here, Professor G.T. Arotiba, all since our resident doctors, welcome everyone. So with this protocol, added and extended to the earlier one, I would like to call on Dr. Mekonnen Eshete. He's an associate professor of surgery from the Addis Ababa University, Ethiopia, to give us a short talk on orofacial cleft in Ethiopia, his success story in surgical care and research.
Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, colleagues and friends. It's really an honor to stand before you in this event, Life Impact Symposium celebrating Professor Ali Butani. The story I will be telling you is that the story which is started 2 decades ago almost, and which continues to change life every day. So it all started in 2006. I was invited to attend the first Pan-African Critical Panel Conference in Ibadan, Nigeria, sponsored by SMITM, where I met Professor Ali Butani. He was a young PhD candidate, very eager to explore everything. He is looking what is done in Africa and what is missing and what can be done. I was a fellow in plastic and reconstructive surgery in India. I was invited to India. So when we first met, it was clear that we share common needs, improve craniofacial care and cleft care in our continent. And he encouraged me to take part in craniofacial research and global initiatives. He saw potential in me that I had not yet seen in myself. The mentorship inspired me to pursue clinical training and to expand clinical care capacity in Ethiopia. Over the years, he invited me to his research lab at the University of Iowa, where I received medical training and guidance. So what began as a mentorship evolved into lifelong partnership built with trust, collaboration, and friendship. With that inspiration, I returned to home, where we operated over 5,000 medical and science. So each one is story not only a statement of function, but giving a confidence. As my unit was the kind of component, we were able to use a nationwide care from skilled professionals unit. So we supported also the establishment of professional care in other parts of the unit, like for example, one of the universities of Karachi, University of Dhaka. And we are ensuring that each child, regardless of where they were born, could receive quality center care. Professor Dhaka could receive quality center of clinical research and outreach impact. And this makes Ethiopia the center of excellence for cleft care in Africa. So it was clear that surgery alone is not enough. For sustainability, you need to have education and you need to build capacity. And we participated in designing and implementing Ethiopian drugs and research surgery curriculum, and we trained over 60 drugs and research surgeons, and also we trained COSIXA fellows, which are surgeons from eastern and southern parts of Africa. And realize that credit is not surgery only, credit is versatile care. One of these is speech therapy. And we initiated the first speech therapy training in Ethiopia University, which now providing master's degree. So far we trained 33 speech therapists which are working all over the country, and 12 more will graduate this year in July. So together we built a foundation of sustainable versatile care in Ethiopia, which is supporting other parts of Africa. So internationally, like in other parts of Africa, like we did, we share experience, provide teaching in Madagascar, Chad, the DRS, and the Central African Republic. We share the skills, exchange experiences, and build lasting partnership. I was honored to be a life surgery president of the Kenyan Life Surgery Society annual conference, and I was served as an international visiting scholar for the American Society of Plastic and Cosmetic Surgery. In leadership, I've been privileged to serve in Pan-African Association of Creative and Parent, and chairing the national conference in 2009 and 2015, where Professor Adi Butari was also invited to present his work in 2009, and serving as a financial secretary for this society from 2007 to 2011. I was the president of the Indian Society of Surgery for 2 terms, and each of these opportunities has reflected a growing network of collaboration and empowerment across Africa. So in research, our collaboration also transformed the research sector in Ethiopian surgery. I know it is the same for many African countries. Research is not in our culture. We Ethiopians especially, we don't have problem in reading and understanding what is research, what is the research, but we are lacking reading research. There is no experience, there is no support. So these are really changing a lot. Because of the support of Professor Adi, I was fortunate to author or co-author over 7 different publications covering the care, surgical education, and services. So currently I serve as a full professor at Addis Ababa University. I'm chairing the Ethiopian Medical Association IRD. I'm also involved in structural activities and in the college activities. So through mentorship from Professor Adi Butari, we integrated leaders best practice and ethical oversight as part of our surgical and research mission. This academic grounding continues to shape Ethiopia's contribution to global research. So our legacy is that we established multi-planetary models and national surgical capacity, which has never been there in the Ethiopian health system. Multi-planetary was not there. So this was really changing a lot. We empowered a new generation of surgeons, therapists, and researchers. We improved thousands of lives, restoring spikes and hope to families across the country. And together we elevate Ethiopia's and Africa's presence in the global reconstructive surgery community. This collaboration has become a model for African excellence, driven by mentorship, partnership, and shared commitment to humanity. What began as a simple meeting in Ibadan became a lifelong partnership, transforming healthcare and surgical education across Africa. So none of this would have been possible without Professor Butari, a mentor, a friend, a generous and kind-hearted person. Professor Butari, your vision, compassion, and mentorship have left a lasting mark not only on my life, but on the lives of thousands of patients and professionals across our continent. I am deeply grateful, honored, and proud to call you both a mentor and a friend. Well, finally, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Professor Peter Wozi, who is also one of my mentors for his mentorship and unwavering support in advancing translational research and improving the care of patients with stress conditions across our continent. He has been the backbone of much of the work carried out in Africa, and his contributions have had a profound and lasting impact. Thank you very much. I'd also like to thank my friend. Many of the surgeries and research activities were supported by my friend. I would also like to thank Transforming Trade for the support in multi-plan care in my country and other African countries in supporting the speech therapy training. The Norwegian people and the government, especially for Edith Graham, for his support. I extend my heartfelt appreciation to all the team members at my unit and Iowa University to carry out staff and Lord for all their support. Thank you very much. Finally, in recognition of Professor Butali's immense contribution, I have a small gift to offer you. Professor Butali. So my immense, my respect and gratitude to him for what he has done for myself, for my country, for other African countries. And I'm sure he will continue to do the same. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
So I see that. Thank you very much, Prof. And congratulations to Prof and his speech and so especially this recognition just received. I see that there's a bit of tension in the hall. You need to ease out. And so DJ, you do your job. Yeah. Relax a bit before we go to the next meeting. This is also a celebration of 50 years. So let's use our
Show
Thank you for Dr. Moses Ebonwa, the physician, University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. He will give us a short talk on Z-Vitiligo, building support and awareness for vitiligo in Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
Can you hear me? Okay, thanks. Good morning, everyone. I want to start by thanking Dr. Kutali for giving me this opportunity to present our work together. And I also want to thank the organizers of this event. I think you guys have done a wonderful job putting everything together. Just a disclaimer, the biography on page 10 is not for me. I don't know where they got that from. I'm in radiation oncology, not radiology. So it's different. Thank you so much. Waiting for my slides. Hello everyone, good morning again. My name is Moses. I've always loved looking at images as a child. I'm not a trained photographer, but somehow I just like taking pictures. And I shared this love for pictures in 2017 to my mentor there, Dr. Hawkins, who is also being a friend. And he did ask me to come to their support group and also to their conferences to come and take pictures. And that's how I was introduced to this strong vitiligo support community in Michigan, Detroit. And ever since, I've been taking pictures from them before I left Michigan. In 2021, I traveled with Dr. Obaseki to Zaria, Kaduna. Then he was a PhD candidate in econometrics at ABU. And when I visited the campus, I saw at least 4 people with vitiligo. And during the same visit, that was where I met Blessing. And I noticed the vitiligo spot on the left eye. So I was curious to know if she knew what it was. Then I asked her, why is your left eyebrow white? And she told me the story about being treated for vitiligo as a child. I noticed the gap in awareness. So in conjunction with Dr. Obaseki and Blessing, that's how we started the Vitiligo support group. In 2023, when I relocated to Iowa, we were there as kids. I met Dr. Vitali at an event, and we became close friends as also we were both from Edo State. So we are close friends in the sense that we played table tennis together. I kind of trained him how to use his left hand while listening to him graciously. Dr. Vitali is one of our greatest supporters, both in time, in cash. He brings an exceptional blend of leadership, mentorship capacity, and capacity building capability that kind of moved us from being little kids to being adults in 2025. And our collaboration through Z-Vitiligo is not just a community initiative, it's a movement that is aimed in reshaping support for vitiligo, awareness for vitiligo in Nigeria. And people ask me why vitiligo. It's because it spares no one. It will happen to a 9-month-old baby, or it will happen to an adult that is 22 years old. It will happen to a male, or it will happen to a female. And in a lifetime, it will change someone's skin complexion totally from black to white. And this has a lot of psychological impact on the patient. So our mission at Civitalize is community awareness and also engagement, mental health support policy, and also academic integration with research. And with the help of the Topotali, we have been able to go far. I still look at images 20 to 30 a day, and that's how I make my decision whether to treat the patient or not. And that has a significant impact on patients' life. However, I like what I do because it keeps me grounded. It reminds me on a daily basis that it all comes to an end someday. And in our collective journey that we call life, everyone can make 1/10 of the impact made by Dr. Butali at 50. I know the world will surely be a better place for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Moses. My apologies for your profile that we missed. Sorry about that, and I hope that we'll get the correct profile so that we'll take it. But now it's time for a health break and an energizer. It will be taken by Nurse Femi Ayelomi. Now she's here. I hope I got her name correct. Nurse Femi. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Nifemi, and I'm happy to be here. Please smile now. Please smile. Okay, so I'm here for us to have a break. We've been seated and we'll be celebrating an icon for some minutes, some hours now. So it's time for us to celebrate ourselves. Can you please clap for yourselves, everybody? You are doing well. And also remembering that it's a new year, and we all have our goals. Because you even have a goal for the year, I think you should plan for yourself. Okay, it is also another gathering, and some of us are seeing ourselves, people that have not been here for a while. We are seeing somebody that has not been in a while, and then we're greeting them. So what we want to do now is to add a greeting to the greeting. Can you please look to your right? I hope you like the person that you are seeing on your right. Can you please smile? Just smile. Smile, please. If the person beside you is not smiling, there is an issue. Something is wrong. Okay. Now enough of the smile. Can I have a straight face? Like a straight face. It doesn't mean that you have to be quiet. You can still talk while you have a straight face. Okay, so because you're going to have to walk with the face and also, if I say you should stand up and move around now, everybody will just do that, but you do that one most of the time. You're still going to stand up and move. But now, we just want to look a little more. So, can we, okay, standing up, yes, fine, please, everybody stand. Permit me, I'm the one holding microphone now. I can, this is another power, I don't have to be in that sort of to command, So I'm doing it right now. Okay, so can you please smile? It's not that hard. We are not doing exams, Many of you are lecturers and all of that. It's good for your social motivation, you know what I'm saying. If you are not writing exams, so even if you are looking at your lecturer, just smile, doesn't matter. They are not going to score you at this time, Okay, so I want us to practice something. Let us just assume that we are all standing. We all know that Professor Aziz Butali is a U.S. presidential awardee. Let's say the president of USA just walks in now. What is going to be your expression? Please now, let's do the expression now, like, surprise, wow. Please do the wow now, say wow. Where are the people say Where is the wow? People say something, say wow. Say Okay, I'm happy that people are smiling now. I think we cannot, it's the beginning of the year, we have to do something. Okay, so we are going to do another thing. What we used to do when we were small, you know, sometimes some things that we do when we were young and it's really fun. We shouldn't just let the all and bottle of everything just take it away from us. Please, can we have this cheek pop like this? You are going to use your two hands now. Please drop whatever in your hands. You are going to use it. Your cheek pop. So if you have to burst it and it must make a sound, maybe you should face yourself. In twos. Look at the person. Let the person have it. Or do you want the person to help you? So better do it yourself now. Do it your way in the way that you can take it. So please do a trick pop. You need a neighbor to confirm that you have done the right thing. A trick pop, look at your neighbor and then bust it. My own says sound well. Can we do more of that? Can you please clap for yourselves? Thank you all. Thank you. Please sit down, everybody. We want to say thank you again for coming and thank you for participating in this video exercise. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you very much.
You did better getting the hall active. I tried DJ, it didn't work, but your own worked. Thank you, man. Next is our keynote speech, which will be given by Professor Peter Mose, the Professor of Craniofacial Development, University of Dundee. I have been skipping the profile of each of our speakers, and so I would remedy that by taking his now. Professor Peter Mose is the chairman of Craniofacial Development and Dentofacial Orthopedics at the University of Dundee, a highly accomplished dental academic and clinical orthodontic consultant. He plays a central role in teaching, mentorship, research, and academic leadership within the School of Dentistry. His international impact spans EU multi-center collaborations, NIH-funded projects, and work with the WHO collaborating Center for Craniofacial Anomalies. Reflecting a long-standing commitment to improving global health care, he serves on examination boards, editorial committees, grants review panels, and continues to publish widely. As mentor to Professor Aziz Vitali, he has contributed significantly to developing the next generation of craniofacial researchers worldwide. Welcome with me, Professor Peter Mose.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, and I think I can also call all of the people here friends and colleagues, as I am not a stranger to Lagos in Nigeria. And this is, of course, an extremely proud moment for Aziz Vitali, but it's also an extremely proud moment for me, as there is nothing more fulfilling as a mentor than seeing those you have mentored making success in their subsequent careers. What I'm going to do just now is give you a further history of our collaboration in the context of the title of my slide about prevention through epidemiology and etiology. But it makes me smile when I think of Aziz Vitali, so instead of going to the boredom of epidemiology and etiology, I will put it in context. And Aziz also, if I can call him a friend and colleague, he has afforded me 20 minutes to be able to do this and do justice to this. But I'll now proceed with a
very special acknowledgement and a tribute to Dr. Bukola and the organisers who helped bring this event together. And I'm very sorry that she has lost her mother earlier this week, and I'm sure we all wish her very well. Because of our long-standing association over the years, I'm very privileged for some information about Assis. But actually Assis presented in Dundee, and this is before we met. Assis qualified, as we can see, in 2001 as a dentist at the University of Lagos. And you see there a very youthful, athletic, and slimmer version of Assis in his early days. You will also note his progression through national service, through private practice, and to become an accomplished young dental surgeon. But what I want to concentrate on now is beyond November 2005, when I first made contact with Assis, or more correctly, he made contact with me on the issue of cleft lip and palate and the possibility of coming to my WHO Collaborating Centre to do his PhD. And I feel I should orientate the audience by just letting you know that Dundee is a small city on the northeast coast of Scotland, where it is currently -5 degrees, and it is somewhere that and now Assis, even through his family connections, has now got Dundee as part of their family connection. The University of Dundee mission statement is fairly typical, but it says something significant. It says we exist to transform lives. And life transformation is a very excellent thing at individual level and collectively at a global level. And I think that's the reason we're here today. I use one of Assis's favourite pictures and slides to describe cleft lip and palate. Again, it's important that we realise cleft lip and palate is a very significant condition for a number of reasons. Firstly, its prevalence, the psychosocial impact, which has already been mentioned in the context, the multidisciplinary team approach, the quality of life is one of the major aspects that we now recognise is the important aspect. Financial burden means that access to care is limited. Inequality remains a major problem. And believe it or not, in places where access to care is limited, this is a condition that results in mortality. This is one of the reasons why myself and Assis are extremely involved in trying to find the cure and the prevention. As a WHO Collaborating Centre, my motivation was to bring Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa into the global picture. And this was the main reason why, when Assis applied to do a PhD, I was delighted that I had an opportunity to bring someone from Africa into my team. The World Health Organization afforded me the opportunity to produce protocols, global research protocols for epidemiology, etiology, and ultimately projecting towards prevention. My badge of honour is, through the years, my PhDs. This is my untidy office, but on that top shelf I list, and I'm proud of, the PhD that went through my system. And this is where it all started for Assis, with an investigation into the role of genetics and environmental factors in the etiology of orofacial clefts in Nigeria. It still remains one of my badges of honour on my shelf. But in effect, what this meant was it gave us an opportunity to get into sub-Saharan Africa and to start a multi-centre global or national collaboration in Nigeria. And here, during his PhD, this is what Aziz achieved. So he was already showing the landmarks of a leader. And these are the collaborating centres that were brought together in a collaboration during his PhD project. Many students are so focused on the laboratory aspects of their PhD, they don't have time or vision beyond that. At an early stage, Aziz was able to do this. Another element which I think is really important is that Smile Train continued to support us. Aziz was able to get Smile Train, one of the largest non-governmental charitable organisations in the world, to support his vision in Nigeria. And we created what we described as Nigeria Plan. And I want to explain the origins of that. When he left, his parting shots from Dundee were that he will continue to work closely with teams across Africa, including governmental and non-governmental organisations, to set up craniofacial birth defects registries. Because one of the biggest scandals is the fact that there is no data on the births of clefts in many low-income settings. And his future plan is to influence government policies in order to make craniofacial anomalies a health priority in Africa. I think that's been superbly achieved. So, just 3 or 4 slides to show you how African came about. It started in just before 2000 with a grant application for European framework funds to start what we describe as Europlan. And Europlan was a multi-package grant application that integrated for the first time clinicians and laboratory scientists working hand in hand. That was significant because every child with a cleft is an opportunity to collaborate and to collect a biological sample. These interactive work packages worked extremely well to begin the process of prevention. And primary prevention is still the ultimate scientific and humanitarian objective. That research program resulted in a pan-European collaboration between 16 partners for the integration of clinical and genetic research. And the productivity at the end of that, the impact, was we carried out the first ever genome-wide association study. And that also led us to say, why don't we make sure that this same success can be achieved globally? And Aziz was the conduit into the African population. So the transition from Europlan to Nigeria Plan was the first step. And with Aziz's vision and contacts and collaboration, that became African. And African now is the origins of all of the work that Aziz and I do collaboratively together. And we started publishing and raising the profile. We really needed to address what I always describe as the scandal of invisibility. The fact that if you do not have data, you do not address a problem. So having data enabled us for the first time to do meaningful research in prevention. And just to show how successful we were. Here is another mentor who spoke to you earlier, Dr. Adeyemo, working closely with ACES in the collection of samples. And here is Africa, and one of the meetings which I attended to make sure that we got this off to a good start. One of the objectives in ACES's letter was we must bring government on board. We must bring governments into the collaboration, otherwise there's no sustainability. And in addition to the WHO and SmileTrain, governmental organisations were brought, and health ministers, the awareness of cleft lip and palate. Here's examples of what myself and ACES initiated to make sure that we achieved that. Now just to go to the postdoctorate accomplishments and accolades, I think we all realise that this has been an exceptional journey. But to achieve that is hard work. Start off with publications. All the academics here will realise that the currency of success and of grant success is publications. Publications come first. So the first priority was for ACES to demonstrate his authority in the field. And he's done that with a series of tremendously innovative publications and laboratory research. And here's an example of a GWAS Manhattan plot to show the significance of some of the mutations that are responsible for cleft lip and palate. And this multidisciplinary approach resulted in meaningful research across Africa. Then, following on from publications, success in grant applications follows. And there's very few people I know across the world that have been more successful than Aziz Boutaleb in making sure that his staff are retained through a strong, powerful, collaborative grant application system. Starting from his early postdoctorate days, soon the achievements and awards were rolling in. And we can see here, I don't have to go through them in great detail with you, but you can see how every consecutive year he did something more innovative and more compelling to be able to do new things, show innovation, and show how hard work can lead to success. He's also an extremely accomplished mentor now, and I'll come back to that in a moment, and a leader and innovator. And this is just one example where a mobile health application for neonatal and infant care was produced to ensure that the advocacy messages were available to even the most disadvantaged people. Another landmark of Aziz's career is his humanitarian work. And much of the work in the field of orofacial clefts is dedicated to the concepts of inequality and social justice. The foundation that we're all aware of and we're here for today is a demonstration of his deep commitment to that principle of inequality and social impact. And this is one of the great sustainable innovations that Aziz has introduced in Nigeria and Africa. It's also a very important lesson that the scandal of invisibility and the scandal of poverty and inequality is reflected in these kind of conditions, which are entirely treatable, resulting in very significant problems with implications socially and psychosocially, as well as functionally. and all of the efforts that we're making at the moment, not only in cleft lip and palate, but in other craniofacial conditions, are aimed towards primary prevention. And despite his busy schedule, Assiz's Inequalities Radar made NOMA impossible to resist. I met a colleague, Dr. Rama Prima from Sokoto, here today, just to demonstrate that Aziz is one of his great friends, because Aziz steps into the breach when there's inequality. And while things in the United States of America are highly competitive, and Aziz is achieving, like all big Nigerians we heard earlier, he's achieving these in the US. He still has time for Nigeria and to come back to Nigeria and spend time in Nigeria. And the Association of Oral and Dental Craniofacial Research has recognized his talents, and he was awarded a global dental and craniofacial research organization award. And the last fantastic achievement on an academic level at the University of Iowa was the endowed professorship. And I produced this statement because it's particularly insightful. And it's from Professor Alareddy, and she said that he exemplifies the pinnacle of research excellence with the Gilbert Lilly Professor of Diagnostic Sciences. His work not only uncovers profound insights, but also paves the way for transformative innovations. Through his dedication, he bridges gaps in understanding, setting a global standard for scholars everywhere, and his journey has laid the seeds for multiple scholars. That is a rich accolade, and shows leadership, and shows how tremendously, how tremendously important his work is in global collaboration. Finally, in terms of accolades, this Presidential Early Career Award that was mentioned earlier should make us all smile, as we said earlier. This is an award of the highest, probably the ultimate accolade. And I would say this because it came from the office of a decent, honest, and reputable US president. What happened more recently to science and research from the White House is a different story. However, we must acknowledge this fantastic research. It's the equivalent in the UK of getting a knighthood. And getting a knighthood is something that one of my mentors, and I'm really pleased that he managed to achieve this accolade, and he did extraordinary research in treatment of orofacial clefts. So I finish off on the accolades with the 2025 aspect, where he was awarded a major grant to discover rare genetic risk factors. And despite the adversity of the recent climate in the US, he continues to succeed, which shows you that excellence will always succeed. I would like to just mention mentorship because of the tremendous mentor he has become. And everybody I speak to, and I know and get to know all his junior PhDs in there, they all speak very highly of his mentorship. And that has also been acknowledged through this amazing award. Probably the best accolade that any researcher can have is for one of our juniors to come along and give them an accolade such as this. For the trust, opportunities, never-ending guidance you gave me throughout the past 4 years, and believing in me. I am forever grateful. Tremendous. And here are two of my mentors who preceded Aziz. And I say the same about them. These are the ones who got the WHO Collaborating Centre accolade for me. And one thing that we always do is we emulate our mentors. Jeff Boy was my great mentor. Every time we get to a meeting, he would ask me to go for a run. He would say we'd walk and talk. And this is one thing that we were unable to encourage Aziz to do, but he prefers his table tennis. And then I want to just say that I am inspired by another aspect of Aziz's character, his faith, which underpins his humanitarian good deeds. And his Thankful Tuesdays are just an example of a testimony to his great faith and for his expression of gratitude for the gifts for him and his family. And talking about his family, this is really important to him. Here's a few questions. The time spent with family is very precious when you're in a busy schedule. And it's great to see all the family here enjoying this today. And the photograph on the left is my memories of Amira when she was in Dundee. That's a really cute picture. And he also celebrates and goes to their sporting occasions. And it brings me back to my youth when I also did martial arts. And I was always a great advocate of martial arts as a great discipline for mental and physical health as well as for sport. So great to see that Vitaly and both his son Ferdinand and Vitaly are both into martial arts. Vitaly is also an accomplished American footballer, and I know that Ferdinand is now on the track as well. But a good discipline. And this, I thought, is worthy of an expression of an accolade at a very early age. To have 2 poems already in the American Library of Poetry is a tremendous accolade. And of course, they are led by the great example of their father. And I was challenged just to say a few words about the future of craniofacial research. And this, I suppose, is just the few slides of summary to emphasize something. That we have never, in the history of health, been in a better position to promote and advocate orofacial tags. Because of this meeting, the World Health Assembly, in May 2021, when oral diseases were added to non-communicable diseases for the first time in their history. And it was described by Dr. Tedros as a landmark resolution that should now enable us to sit alongside the top table with diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancers, respiratory disorders, and be seen to be a very significant. And the first line in the first paragraph of the Global Oral Health Action Plan, published in May 2024, says that oral health encompasses a range of diseases and includes cleft lip and palate in that range of diseases. So we're now in an unprecedented situation, and the fact that they are preventable is our challenge. And this is why Aziz's work, my work, are being gradually fulfilled by ensuring that we stick to the Sustainable Development Goals, and we know that because of the complexity of this multifactorial polygenic disorder, the big surprise we had after GWAS was that there is no consistency between countries and between continents. in the predisposition, the genetic predisposition. So here's European GWAS results, and Asian GWAS results combined, and we don't see any consistency in the mutations that are causing the risk. We also now realise that in Europe, the great variety between countries is a gene pool effect. And in very recent history, 2024, we could not explain why in Finland, the highest rate of cleft palate in the world, by a long way, was in this country, until suddenly discovered an association with an IRF6 gene, something that Aziz is one of the world experts on. So as we finish off, we aim for precision medicine, and that's what the genetic and the environmental factors and their interaction will produce with the work that Aziz is doing. So my final slide is that we now have a global task force. Aziz is very much a part of it. Here's a slide from a recent IADR meeting in Barcelona. And we have the vision for genetic predisposition driving the prevention agenda. So my final slide is to say happy birthday to Aziz, and the life of impact, and the last word must go to those. So as we wish Aziz a very happy birthday, we celebrate, we thank you, your life, your productivity, your inspirational example of how we should live our lives. And this truly has been a life of impact, and let's hope there are many, many more birthdays to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mose. And I don't know if you missed the award that Professor Mose referred to as the knighthood in the Olympic. We should be on our feet. Give a standing ovation to Professor Aziz Butali. This is a true Nigerian, an ambassador who has gone around the world and represented us in the right, most impactful way. And we cannot belittle his impact here and abroad. Thank you, Prof. Thank you so much for all that you have done. Also, because when Professor Mose was talking, he mentioned mentorship. I hope you saw the slide. One of the largest collection of mentees that Professor Aziz Butali has are members of the KB Club. Next on the agenda is the KB Club. They will be talking about Professor Butali's impact on students, and I have interviewed them on one of their events on Your View, so I co-host Your View on TVC. And they talked about him, and it was because Prof had put a word in for them that they were on the show. And so they will be here now to talk about the KB Club and his impact in their lives, and other students will really learn for 7 minutes. We're limited to 7 minutes. But what is the KB Club?
Good morning, everyone. Distinguished guests, all protocol students. My name is Olumide Obami, and I currently serve as the president of the KB Club of the College of Medicine, University of Lagos. The KB Club is an executive social philanthropic institution of male medical students within the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, and we were founded in 1969 by Professor Ladako Ashiru, OFR, who is also the chairman of the club, and several other medical students. Who was a member of the KB Club when he was a student, and also graduated as a member of the KB Club in KBIT, and we know him as Life KBIT Professor Aziz Butali. And the KB Club stands firmly on, next page please. Next slide. Yes. So today's gathering is a landmark moment for the KB Club and College of Medicine. We are inaugurating the Professor Azubutali annual lecture series, a platform that's bringing together distinguished scholars, thought leaders, and change makers from across the world, united by purpose, excellence, and impact. And the theme, the life of impact, it speaks more than individual achievements. It reflects a commitment to leadership, service, mentorship, and global influence. And these are values that we hold deeply in the ethos of the KB Club and the ideas of our great association. In honoring the enduring legacy of Professor Azubutali, this lecture series seeks not only to celebrate impact, but to institutionalize it, solidify it by creating a space where ideas are shared, experience is transferred, and future leaders are shaped. Over the years, the KB Club has consistently translated its ideas through action, and beyond brotherhood, the club has maintained a strong outward focus through philanthropy. Our strongest core ethos, we touch thousands of lives across the country, and through sustained health-focused interventions and community service. And for 57 years and counting, and within our needs, the KB Club has worked often in collaboration with strategic partners to build dignity and hope to underserved communities. And I can proudly say that over the past 2 years, we've had over 30 philanthropic interventions across different states in the country. So just a backstory. I can't say 58 years of philanthropy, 58 years of philanthropy, I can't go year by year. But starting from 2019, in partnership with the Eye Foundation Hospital, the KB Club conducted community eye screenings for over 200 individuals and facilitated free cataract surgeries for more than 25 patients. And we distributed eyeglasses and essential medications. In 2022, our 53rd annual philanthropic day was themed A Chance at Life for the Future, and it focused on reducing early child mortality and improving maternal health. In collaboration with the Lagos State Ministry of Health, we conducted breast and cervical screenings for over 100 women with the LCD, and positive cases were referred for early intervention. In 2023, the 54th annual philanthropic day of the KB Club was themed Your Path to Gives Life. It was a voluntary blood donation held at the University of Lagos, where we raised over 400 pints of blood in a single day, reinforcing positive attitudes towards politics. In October 2024, we had our annual philanthropic day, and was themed Even Heroes Need Saving. Carried out prostate cancer screening and mental health awareness program for over 120 military personnel at Mada Barracks. And most recently, in 2025, which is the 6th annual day of the annual philanthropic club, was in Your Path 2.0. There was another blood donation drive, the second edition of our blood donation drive. And this was one of its kind. We had it across 6 local government areas in Lagos State, from Lagos mainland, Yaba, Ikeja, Ikorodu, Ojo, Ikorodu, Itiosa local government area, Lagos Island, and Surulere. We collected approximately 500 pints of blood in a single day, and with this contribution, has to save 1,500 lives. Our next academic excellence, which is another one that we hold dear. We made a cornerstone in KB Club's identity. It's a value that we uphold dearly, and the club actively seeks to advance academic excellence through mentorship, scholarships, and impactful conferences aimed to transform healthcare. In November 2025, we hosted the 7th edition of our annual health tech event, popularly known as Start the Reform, which has transformed into a It was themed Tomorrow's Healthcare Today, and this initiative has grown into Nigeria's premier student-led health tech event. Through this platform, the KB Club has encouraged thinking beyond the 4 walls of the clinic, bringing together thought leaders, innovators, policymakers, and students. We facilitate collaboration with the government, both at the state and national level, that's both federal and state ministries of health, and while also providing support and visibility for innovative ideas, funding dreams aimed at improving healthcare delivery technology. In the area of social empowerment, the KB Club has created platforms that exposes our members to leadership development, mentorship, innovation, and engagement beyond the classroom, preparing our members not only to succeed academically, but to become responsible members of society. One thing I'd like to talk about is our Medifil, our yearly magazine. The most recent edition came titled Professor coincidentally of our magazine, the philanthropic side of our magazine. We had the magazine launch last year as well. Looking ahead, the KB Club remains committed to strengthening its role as a platform for sustained impact. Our vision is to build structures that endure, structures that support mentor generations, promote academic and professional excellence, and expand our reach in service to society. Through initiatives such as this, we aim to institutionalize dialogue, knowledge exchange, and leadership development to ensure that ideas are transformed. As a club, we are not only focused on what we do today, but what we preserve for tomorrow. And a culture of service, excellence, and responsibility that continues to shape leaders long after they leave medical school. And in closing, I would just like to express our sincere appreciation to the chairman of the event, the founder of the KB Club, Professor Oladapo Ashiru, and also express gratitude to our chief host, Professor Mutali Aziz, and our distinguished speakers, honored guests, alumni, partners, and all members of the KB Club that are present here today. For being part of this landmark occasion, the presence reinforces the value of shared purpose, collaboration, and close responsibility. I'm most grateful to Professor Aziz Butali once again for inspiring a platform that embodies excellence, service, and global impact, and to everyone that's contributed to bringing this lecture series to life. On behalf of the KB Club, I thank you very much for your attention and support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, KB. So what does KB mean? Without telling us. I'll meet Professor Ashiru later because I must know what that means. Let me quickly recognize some of our distinguished guests. Professor Oloroti Dacosta, who is the former Dean of Faculty of Dental Science. Professor Jonah Umoesi. Okay. Professor Ayobadejo. Professor Ume Izidike, when a doctor writes a list for you, you read it 2 times. Professor Sunday Omilabu, Director of Central Research Laboratory. Welcome to everyone. Quickly, let me get this name right. Dr. Maria Masha, when she came in, I had not recognized her presence. Welcome, ma. Nice to see you again, physically. Welcome, and so we'll go to the next on the agenda. Coincidentally, it is Dr. Miriam Masha's speech, a short talk on managing and making an impact in conflict communities, exploring challenges and opportunities of implementing health intervention in conflict zones. So, I have gone back to recognizing and taking their class. I'll quickly take class. Very intimidating. Dr. Maria Masha is a distinguished public policy leader with 18 years experience in advisory capacity to 2 successive presidents since 2015 to date, and the state governor since 2007 to 2015. She's been driving national and regional developmental strategies in Nigeria with demonstrated success in high-impact policy design, multi-sector humanitarian response, and conflict recovery programming, particularly in the Northeast. She currently serves as the Senior Special Assistant Regional Development Program to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where she is responsible for driving initiatives aimed at accelerating balanced economic and social development, leveraging comparative advantages and natural endowment across Nigeria. At the state level, Dr. Mariam was responsible for ensuring that transport sector performs its critical role in the nation's socio-economic development through informed policy and human capital development. Notably is her work with the Lagos State University in the establishment of the School of Transport. Well done, ma. That's my alma mater. She's a visiting faculty at the African Leadership Center, ALC King's College, London, and serves as a member of the board of organizations, Violence and Injury Prevention Program, an Archbishop Tutu Fellow of the African Leadership Institute, as well as a Fellow of the Nigerian Leadership Institute. Dr. Masha is a dentist with degrees in public health and John Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, Organization Leadership from the Oxford University, Conflict and Fragility Management from the Geneva Graduate Institute, and a Fellow of the Advanced Leadership for Social Impact at Queen's University. Well done, ma.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The video you just watched tells us the story of change for some of the children that are offered by the Boko Haram insurgency in Northeast Nigeria. After the initial despair among the people and the communities affected by this conflict, some of the children, like Afsa, began to relieve hope, courage, happiness, and peace. Children like Afsa, she wants to be a computer programmer. Now she can look beyond the setbacks of the conflict in the region to future opportunities and prosperity. But I'd like to share one thing with you. Prior to the insurgency, Hafsat had never been to school. She'd never been to school until she got to the camp and had an opportunity to be exposed to learning. She's among thousands of out-of-school children whose future became gloomier when their communities were attacked. Today, her story is very different. It's a classic case of how a tragedy or despondent situation can become a springboard into a whole new world of hope and opportunities, as we've seen at the Learning Center. Now, the Learning Center was an initiative of the immediate past Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, where he galvanized and mobilized a group of good-spirited Nigerians to put resources together for us to build that facility that you saw.
that can accommodate up to 2,000, 3,000 students. It's a safe learning space where the children can live lives that are normal compared to where they're coming from. And one of the first tasks I had was to drive that initiative, get that place built. And we did this in 6 months, believe it or not. And we've been able to have children from that center that are now graduates of universities. A number of them are in secondary school, over 600 of them are in secondary school today, and they are thriving. And Hafsat is one of them. In 3 years of Hafsat being with us, she learned to hold a pencil, identify letters, learn words, and count. Not only did she complete this computer programming course, she's actually graduated from secondary school now, and she has the potential to contribute to her community and indeed the nation. As we celebrate the success of Hafsat and other children, we're reminded that when communities face conflicts, routine community lives are disrupted and destroyed often. While the whole of society felt the impact of the insurgency from Boko Haram, it had disproportionate impact on children, as well as the capacities of their parents and families to cater for the needs of these children. I must also add that the children that we worked with were actually children who were orphaned by the conflict, not just children who had a parent. These were children who were orphaned. Now, over a decade after the insurgency started in the Northeast, education and livelihood had yet to fully recover in the region, as we've seen. However, it's important to note that insecurity only aggravated the pre-existing socio-economic fragility of these communities in the region. And these include, but are not limited to, chronic poverty, the harsh climate conditions, recurrent epidemics, poor infrastructure, and limited access to basic services such as health and education. And as if that was not enough, in 2020, this situation was further compounded by the global COVID-19 pandemic and the various mitigation strategies, of course, that were put in place to address these. The uncertainty and unpredictability of our world demands a forward-looking approach to learning in crisis and emergency. And this is where enters Professor Aziz Vitali. At the height of COVID-19 pandemic, when the classrooms were shut and uncertainty was everywhere, Vitali and I worked together in co-creating a coding program that was conducted virtually, believe it or not, at the Learning Center. It was an audacious idea that was born out of crisis, yet carried forward with vision. Prof drove this program virtually, tirelessly with energy and faith. These children were not just learning how to code, they were creating. And one of our proudest outcomes was their design of the school management system, which the center actually adopted. It was built by their hands and shaped by their own ideas. Many of them had been inspired to pursue careers in technology. They not only discovered new possibilities in the process, they actually did discover themselves. And this process encouraged me to sign up my own son with Prof on coding, because it was something he had been doing, but I didn't quite understand it. But I began to see what it did to these children who had been offered by the conflict, and I signed up my own son on this same program. Now, of course, this journey was not without challenges. We had language barrier. We had internet access was also a problem every now and then. And importantly, we also lacked the technical support for the learners because no one there could really do what was being done. But as I said, this was a virtual program. And as we hope to have an in-person session, I don't know if you remember, Prof, just as we had planned all of that, insecurity, there was a bombing close by, and I was not willing to, and I don't think it was smart to have risked the life of anyone to come in there, and that set us back. Now, but instead of the discouragement, we can use an opportunity to adapt, and be consistently mindful that progress is not always linear, but the resilience makes the difference. Through this program, through all of this, the program flourished. It became more than just lessons and projects. It became a story of possibility, of courage, of young lives turning towards the future. And behind it is a man whose humility, wisdom, unwavering belief in education made it possible. Thank you. So as we celebrate Vitaly's Golden Jubilee, we do not just honor his years, but also the lives that have been touched by his vision. We celebrate a leader who, in the face of disruption, chose to create hope. Hafsa's story opened this conversation, and it's fitting, because it's a mirror of Prof's own gift, his ability to open doors for others, and I'm sure we heard that earlier today, to help them see beyond limitation and inspire them to dream bigger. And this includes myself. Today we celebrate you not just for reaching this golden milestone, but for your partnership that has sown curiosity, possibility, and practical skills that turns inspiration into action. You've modeled what it means to lead with courage, to start an audacious idea in a crisis situation and see it in the humility and rigor. The legacy lives in children who coded their first lines, designed platforms, solved real problems, and began to imagine futures in technology. A fun fact, some of the students who left us after this, this center was really, it wasn't quite a school, it was a place where we were nurturing and empowering these children and finding them where they were. And by the time these children got into secondary school, the boys' principal would have them enter, do everything at the end of the section. They were the ones that would enter the grades into the computer because they were the only ones who understood it. So at the end of the day, he was, I wouldn't say using them, I was working with them, and they were the ones that essentially managing, scoring, recording, grading, all of that. So this story reminds us of why we show up. So I want to say to Vitaly, thank you for your friendship, for your partnership, and for your heart. The seeds that you sow will continue to grow in the lives of our children who dare to believe in a future shaped by learning. Happy 50th birthday, and here's to many more years of bold ideas and lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mark. I see that Prof is also a major problem solver. It's how we solve the problem of teaching coding to the kids virtually. And now we have coders up now. So we have the next on the agenda, a Google speech by Dr. Professor Olalekan Botolorun. He's the Dean, Faculty of Dental Sciences. And he has promised to keep to time. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So glad to see all of us coming out to celebrate an icon of our time, Professor Aziz Vitaly. So Vitaly is the star of our faculty of Dental Sciences, University of Lagos. Oftentimes you have people that are doing well that come from a particular place, and you have to do a lot to reach out to them, to remember where they have left. But that's not the case at all for Professor Aziz Vitaly. From the time that he left to Dundee, he left from us, he was doing a short residency before he left. He has always been in connection with this faculty. And a lot of things have happened through him in the faculty. A lot of grants, a lot of mentorship, especially for our students. There are things that he does for, at least for 1 year or 2 years now, for our final year students that takes to his faculty for a period of time. I think you have done 2 students now, or 3 students now, that takes in the final year to Iowa for a period of time that they have an experience, and it's ongoing. It's presently in the faculty now as a Fulbright scholar, and a lot of development concerning accessing grants for the faculty. So we are proud that we have such a scholar, a mentor, and one whose lives have impact to all those around him. I'm sure many of us don't know about what Dr. Masha was talking about that happened in the Northeast. But we are hearing it, and we are beginning to understand that his influence is not only around there, but spreads across even to other crimes and even to other regions and even to other things that we don't seem to think concern us. Thank you very much. And I want to say a big congratulations for your 50. And we are hoping that you live many more years and especially many more years of impact. Congratulations again.
For keeping strictly time. And I hope Dr. Alabi is proud of us. I wish him a good job. Well, next on the agenda quickly is the impact testimonials of the Aziz Butali Foundation, 5 years of shaping lives and improving livelihood of women, which will be taken by Mrs. Nefisat Esiwe. She's the CEO of Aziz Butali Foundation, but I will read her profile. She's not just the CEO of the Aziz Butali Foundation. She's a manager with Spell Specialist Foundation and a dedicated volunteer with Restore Foundation for Child Sight. And beyond these roles, she's a wife, mother, whose work reflects deeply in her commitment to service, compassion, and community-driven impact. Welcome, Mrs. Nefisa Esibu. You have a video? Okay. Can we have Mrs. Nefisa's video, please?
Away Butali Foundation celebrates the 5-year impact. Away Butali Foundation every act was established in 2020 with the Bottom and Kingdom Harvest in Nigeria and to provide scholarships for students in universities. Every year provides 100,000 naira development curriculum to women and financially literacy training to them twice a year. Today, the foundation has supported women. That year also used 10,000 naira monthly scholarships to students for 8 months and paid tuition for about 70% of the students.
My name is Shukra. I'm a clinical manager and I received the donation today. I would like to show gratitude to the Somola Beauty and Aziz Butali Foundation. I pray Allah is a global blessing. Bless you in multiple things, example now, career, thank you so much. I am one of the women who has been here from Aziz Foundation. I want to say thank you to the foundation, definitely my prayer, and pray Almighty Allah to bless everything that concerns the owner of the foundation and
Professor Abdulaziz Butali for what they are for their assistance in render today in the entertainment, giving us those without an interest and only practice. And Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, more you abundantly, may you know more sorrow in your life. And Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala continue to make you be happy. As I'm happy this morning, allow to answer the body. And make you be happy before and thereafter.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's an honor to address this distinguished audience today, following established protocol and respecting the dignitaries present. I would like to welcome you all to today's celebration. Today, we celebrate an impact that counts. My name is Nefisa Esimbe. I am the Chief Executive Officer of Aziz Butali Foundation. The foundation was established with one purpose in mind: to alleviate poverty by elevating the financial status of women in small business, petty traders being a target audience. The Aziz who grinds pepper in front of our house, the Bolaji who hawks pure water and bottled water on the street, and Ajoke who sells indomie and eggs under the my-12 bridge. These are not just names. This is the reality of some of our beneficiaries. Today, we mark our 5th year of impactful service. We envision a future where women in small businesses achieve true financial independence, both in their ventures and their personal life. Our mission is driven by one goal: serving humanity. By building the nation, one woman at a time. How do we achieve this? 3 pillars of impact. Our first and most expensive mission is to provide zero-interest revolving loans to women in small businesses across Nigeria, with special focus on widows and single mothers. This program is specifically designed to offer a truly burden-free financial solution. I'm incredibly proud to report on this 5-year journey that today we have disbursed a total of 3.2 million naira in revolving loans and over 5 million naira in grants, directly empowering women, more than 150 women and counting, across cities including Auchi, Abeokuta, Abuja, Badagry, Kaduna, and of course Lagos. Our strategy for success is simple and sustainable. Beneficiaries are vouched for. They require 2 guarantors, a religious leader, and a woman leader in their community. They are thoroughly assessed and interviewed. We provide complimentary financial literacy training to ensure these women do not sidetrack their progress. This also gives us direct, vital feedback on their business challenges. Repayments are structured monthly, starting after a 1-month grace period. Our strategy is to increase the number of beneficiaries based on the consistent payback of the initial recipients, proving that this model actually works. Through regular monitoring, calls, and on-site visits to ensure progress, our ultimate goal is to empower these women to become self-sufficient entrepreneurs and significantly improve their economic standing. As the foundation grows, so does our commitment to community development in other areas. So we expanded our dedication to uplifting scholars. We fully cover the tuition fees and provide an additional monthly stipend until graduation for outstanding indigent students in various tertiary institutions across Nigeria. We invest in them with the hope that they will remember this support and pay it forward to the next person who needs it. We have and are supporting 21 students and have invested over 9 million naira into it. Lastly, we contribute to the startup and development of health innovative ideas. We offer initial support to critical programs, such as the Amal Outreach Program, founded by Dr. Folake Fofojo, which is successfully providing essential primary health care to women in Lagos Island. Mr. Chairman, sir, it has been an immense honor to serve in this capacity as the Chief Executive Officer of Aziz Butali Foundation over this past 5 years. I offer my profound thanks to the members of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Adima Alibi, Dr. Nina Namba, Dr. Ajeola Ibu, Mr. Fatai Bobola, and Mr. Kennedy Mutuali.
for your wisdom and unwavering support. My deep appreciation also goes to our collaborators and partners. Dr. Simisola Alabi, founder of Beyond World UK, Dr. Adiola Eko, CEO PMX Consult, and Dr. Molade Open, consultant internal medicine US, who have entrusted us with their grants and confidence that we will deliver on our promise. In 5 years, we have proven that zero interest capital, paired with financial education and rigorous support, is a powerful catalyst for change. We are not just giving loans, we are building businesses that put food on the table. We are supporting scholars and contributing to growing future leaders that are well-grounded. And of course, fostering health innovation to facilitate access to standard health care. Thank you all once again for celebrating this milestone. We look forward to working with you in the next 5 years.
Well done, CEO, Aziz Vitali Foundation. I have some beneficiaries from that foundation, particularly the widows, so I can say that this is an impactful initiative.
Okay, I would like to call on Salem. She's one of our scholars. She's a graduate. The first class graduate, actually.
Distinguished guests, honored dignitaries, and everyone gathered here today. It is both a privilege and profound joy to stand before you to celebrate a man whose impact extends far beyond what any award or recognition could capture. When I first met Professor Vitali, though in a seemingly short encounter, he seemed to have seen a light in me I had not quite discovered at the time. And every conversation became an opportunity for me to share my aspirations and dreams, and in turn beginning fuel to the fire burning in me for success and trailblazing achievements. I shared with him my academic aspirations and made him a promise that I would graduate with first class honors. At the time, I did not fully understand the weight of that promise, but I believed I could achieve it and make him proud. Today, I'm grateful to see that I kept that promise, and I stand before you not just as a recipient of his foundation scholarship, but as a living proof of what happens when someone invests not just their resources, but their faith in another person's potential. Yes, the scholarship sustained me financially for over 4 years, but what sustained me in ways I could never have anticipated was his emotional presence. In moments when I needed counsel, he showed up. When I simply needed an extra push, he would show up with renewed commitment on all the possibilities before me if I could graduate with an excellent result. As you celebrate your birthday and your legacy, sir, and all that you've accomplished, I want you to know that I'm ever grateful for your investment. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for being more than a benefactor, for being a guide, a coach, and a constant reminder of all I could become. Happy birthday, sir. May your years ahead be rich with joy as you have made my life a big opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations on your graduation. Well done, Professor Vitali. The examples, the testimonies of all the recipients of his benevolence, we cannot exhaust that today. That's all. So, congratulations. We will just quickly move on to our good news speeches, and we have remarks and good news speech from Professor Ashiru, Professor Oladapo Ashiru, the chairman of today's occasion. Thank you, Dr. Simi. You said I was struggling to find. Thank you. So I'll quickly read Professor Oladapo Ashiru's profile. Professor Oladapo Ashiru, OFR, MBBS, MS, PhD, HCLD, CC, ABB, USA, FASN, FNSEM, FCACD, I mean academic science, I think, is the chairman and chief medical director of the Medical Arts Center, president of the Academy of Medicine Specialties of Nigeria, an internationally renowned productive endocrinologist. He is the president of the African Reproductive Care Society and the Secretary General of the International Federation of Fertility Societies, the first African to hold the position. He is a pioneer IVF and embryo transfer in Africa. He became the youngest professor of medicine in Africa at the age of 32. Professor Ashiru has made major advances in assisted reproduction, reimplantation genetic diagnosis, fertility care, and environmental medicine, earning the national honor of OFR and numerous global recognitions for over 4 decades of groundbreaking contributions to reproductive health. To think that, I just wanted to ask you what KBD was. This is intimidating. And I still want to know what KBD is. Because if
Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think all I can tell you, having observed today, is that I am suitably impressed. And as this deserves a huge round of applause. Going through what I've been done and going back into the lady talking about KB Club, what it meant, was that just about 5 days ago, we had a reunion or a ceremony of live T-Bank, that is students who have been through medical school, who are privileged to be asked to join the club, and who passed all the evaluations and have now graduated. I think about 70 of us met in Banana Island at the boat club there. And I said, wow, this is a celebration of something we never knew would happen. In 1969, we got to the medical school, and we said, there were just 2 clubs existing, Sigma Club in Ibadan for medical school, and then Z Club. And we said, no, we're not going to join this one. They are all just party clubs. Yes, we want to party. However, are we having just social with some of us now failing and not fulfilling the obligations our parents have asked us to do? So it must be academic. So we added that to our objective. And then we said, what else? We have to have compassion. We added philanthropy and togetherness. So that, if you summarize it, is KB. And they called us different names, maybe King of Boys, or knowledgeable bachelors, or whatever, but we didn't care. We just followed our objective. And we had regulations. And I'm so pleased that even today, these T-Banks are still flying the flag high. Now, one of the benefits of that philanthropy, one of the benefits of those networks, was that we as medical students, we went out, we reached out to one of the chiefs in Lagos, Chief Kefiti Adebu, and he was a patron to the club. At that time, he was an advisor to the club. When we had the annual high table dinner at the College of Medicine, and he invited him to come in, that was given an award. He said, oh, I had wanted to do something to this college, but I didn't see you people. Remembering our medical today, he gave us a donation at that day of 100 million, and the whole scattered. And I told him that we don't need your money. Build something to the college for that amount. And today, the edifice was opened on its first day. It cost over 5 billion. I didn't do this at the Church of Medicine. Thanks to David College. Now, this lecture, when you talk about what Bukari has done, I have it on some cardinal points. The first one is in the words of Beethoven, the 17th century composer, who said, I recognize no superiority in mankind other than goodness. You can see that Aziz exudes goodness. And what has happened, you see, when the Almighty has a vision for you, you have people that are called to work with you. Starting from Professor Itamosi, you could see goodness in him and that process. And starting from those he has worked with, he has collaborated with, from Moses, from Professor Eshe in Ethiopia, Dr. Masha, you could see goodness in them and spreading it to mankind, which is followed. Even our Lord Jesus Christ in his message talks about being good to your neighbor. And I was brought up from growing up that whoever you have the means, the song, ẹnikẹ́ni tí wọ́n bá nípa láti ṣe ìrànlọ́wọ́ fún òun náà lẹ́yìn kejì rẹ̀ rántí rẹ̀ òun lẹ́yìn kejì rẹ̀ rántí òun lẹ́yìn kejì rẹ̀ rántí ẹnikẹ́ni tí wọ́n bá nípa láti ṣe ìrànlọ́wọ́ fún òun náà lẹ́yìn kejì rẹ̀ tọ́jú rẹ̀. He has done that. He has done that very well. And that is philanthropy, giving back. And you see, it pays back in multiple. And when you do it not because you are expecting something back. You do it just because you love to do it. He has epitomized that. The next character that he has done is in the words of Plato. Plato said, those who have the torch must pass the torch of knowledge. If you have the torch, pass the torch of knowledge. And I believe that before you can pass the torch of knowledge, you must recognize that there is nothing greater than ignorance. That was whereby we are people. So you acquire knowledge and you pass it to people. And that ability to do so requires constant research. I see Professor Okona one here. I see some of my old friends. They will always remember when I was in the anatomy department. I said, you have to continue to do research because if you think you have become a professor, which many people have become, and they don't do anything else, you are going down. As of today, I still read Science magazine, Science journal. I still read and do research at my level. So, Aziz has done that. And when we look at that, it says that the last part I want to talk about here is that a professor, and I say this for those of you who are, and for those of you who are going to be, a professor is not known by what he professes alone, but by how many professors he has been able to mentor. You have to mentor them and have to mentor. When Aziz applied to join the Academy of Medical Sciences of Nigeria, I saw his CV. Even though he's a member of my club, I looked at him and I said, I'm highly impressed. This is the first time I saw his CV. I said, I'm highly impressed. And I can tell you, having seen what I've seen today, I'm also giving him a birthday present. I'm nominating him for another fellowship. And when I sent just the introductory description to this lecture to the executive officer of that group, because she has been asking me, who are you going to nominate? I said, I don't know. I can't think of anybody. But you summarize, you are what we look for. And I pray that when the Almighty marks your spirit, when the Almighty marks your spirit, they want to do greatness in you. That accident you had was a mark. And I'm happy that you are paying back to him. And he who has called you will give you long life. Good health will meet you and your children and your parents, and you will live with the light of the Almighty around you all the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Asheru. I think I'll raise this my about what he did. Okay, let me quickly recognize Professor Abayomi Okolamo. I was told to recognize him when he arrived, but we had taken another matter on our table. And also recognize Dr. Rufus Ojewola, who is the Deputy Chairman, Medical Advisory Committee, Research and Training. And so we'll move on to continue with the agenda. I hope we have Professor Butali's documentary video. Okay, that's, yes, we can watch, we're going to watch that for 20 minutes always, before we bring Professor Aziz Butali himself on stage. Sounding round of applause. Can we stand up, please? A standing ovation to the man of the moment, a proud ambassador of Nigeria, one of our greatest exports to the US. Congratulations to you, Professor Butali. Join me in welcoming him on stage for his speech and appreciation to all of us today. Well done, Professor Aziz Butali. Let me brag. So, Professor Aziz Butali, please. So let me brag. Prof is from the same tribe as me, the same village, same roots. So I'm proud that if you see how I was watching that documentary, I was more than proud. You know, I feel so blessed to have met him. Don't say.
Thank you, sit down. Good afternoon, everybody. I might also have asked you to please stand up for a reason. Dr. Bukola Amao, the Vice Chair of the Local Organizing Committee, lost among on Boxing Day. So I'd like us to observe a 1 minute silence in honor of Bukola's memory. Please. May the soul of Nama rest in perfect peace. Thank you. I am overwhelmed. I'm not sure I will get to talk for long, but let me start by thanking all of you for taking out time. I'm a very, very strict with time, and I'm also going to make sure I get to time. So, the life of impact. This is something I thought about what to be my next challenge. I tried to define a challenge for myself. And I started asking myself when I took it, what legacy do I want to leave? And I decided that I want to think about an academic symposium where we talk something other than science, bringing people that are making impact. And the goal is to inspire the current students and others in the public, and hence the life of impact. I'm here today because I inherited from my father. My father's only inheritance that I got is education. If you are not educated, you are not inherited from my father. So today, I'm pleased to inform you that I inherited from my father. I'm blessed memory. And this is the first person that called me a professor when I was in secondary school. And because his best friend, Mr. Dandes, and we also wanted to together, was a professor of medicine. And my father said, I want you to be like Mr. Dandes. And he encouraged me and nurtured me and my siblings. Blessed memory. And I'm very emotional right now because this man said before it happened. And I'm also here because I was born by a woman who refused to give up. Mama, please stand up for recognition. My mom abandoned school so that her parents can send her brother to school because they had limited funds. She made that sacrifice. But she made a pledge to herself, and she was determined that every other child would get to the highest level that they call education or academia. And today, she has an endowed professor as a son. She has a PhD in nursing as a daughter. She has MBA, she has engineers, she has nurses, she has all of her 9 kids are graduates. From the University of Lagos or Lagos State University, my father was particular. Did I go to Milan and the worst to get to last week? The only way to do that. That was his philosophy. And I'm also glad that I grew up with wonderful siblings. We grew up, even though we were middle class, but my mom refused to allow us to stray. And we all heard from the same pot. She would divide the meat and ask each one of us to take it from there. Not knowing that she was taking our bond. We were very together. It's difficult to get in between us. Otherwise, you're going to be facing a storm. All my siblings were taken together. And I'm glad that I'm one of them. I'm also very fortunate that I found my mission here on this campus. I'm going to tell you, Olarika, please stand up for recognition. Olarika, my own you have to stand. I'm begging you have to stand. Have you ever, as you say, Professor Miguel, Mario, I've been supported. There's nothing like being before her. She said, Obabeshi, you're saying Mario. She has never been with you for anything I decided to do. And I'm super grateful. And through her and the grace of God, 3 wonderful kids. Amira, where are you? I know you're ushering, but where are you? Wait wherever you are.
Butali have a little bit of barrier, so it's the car. African, you want to stand up with. So one thing wonderful things. These things that challenge me. And when I was their age, I wasn't this good and smart. I didn't outsmarted me, and I'm grateful to God for what they've done. It made my travel, my trips rewarding. Because I go back home with the smiles on their faces and encouragement. Amira always cried whenever I jump on the plane. And then one day I asked her, why did you cry? I said, Daddy, I want you to come back safely. Please thank her for me. She's always praying for me. I am here because I am standing on the shoulders of giants. Professor Mose never saw me. He only saw what I wrote. And I sent him a one-pager applying to do a PhD in his lab. The last two sentences, the paragraphs in my one-pager was not projected. Now whatever I learn, I'm going to bring it back to the continent and pass it on to others. And I'm going to make Temple College a priority in Africa. And that was the only thing that got me through. Thank you, Professor Mose, for believing in me. He never saw me. It's not like one man. He never saw me. He only saw what I wrote. Thank you. And through Professor Mose, I met Jeff Murray. And from Jeff Murray, I met Mary Marazita. And Jeff sent me on the for a conference in 2010, and I met with Adeyemo Adebowale. And in 2018, I met Leonard Etusa. All these giants are those that gave me their shoulders, and you will see at this time I'm speaking, and I'm going to all of them. I'm also grateful to so many of my teachers, research collaborators. Professor Kulewe, Professor Larry Adeyemo. He's not just a teacher, a mentor, a friend and a brother. We've gone through a lot together. He was being modest. He didn't tell you guys the story. We were in a room that were going to defend the budget for Africa, £4 million. And the only reason why we didn't get that was the decision was made 5 minutes before that presentation at the Welcome Trust. I cried my eyes out. Everybody went through. And so we said, at least we got here. We were the youngest group in the room. And we said, thank you very much for supporting me through all this time. There is no Aziz Butali without these wonderful students. Every idea I have, or I have, I will bring the students and I'll tell them, this is what I want us to achieve. Hold their hands, we work together, and they achieve it. 8 PhD students from Africa. Each one of them cost me $200,000 to train. $1.6 million. I've students. I've had so many business scholars, 15 dental students from all over the US, high school students, almost 15 as well, and so countries, and I'm grateful to all of them. They are the reasons why I go to work every day, believing that there is no to achieve. I'm grateful to them. Now, my life started, so I took a turn when I prepared a child with cleft lip and palate for surgery in 2002 at the General Hospital in Lagos. I didn't know it was going to be lifelong. I thought it was just a chance experience. But still today, 2002 to date, I'm still doing the same thing. These kids, they were praying for me when I had the accident. And an Indian colleague of mine said, Aziz, do you know why you survived the accident? I said, no. She said, the kids were crying and begging God, and you still have a lot to do with them. And that's why God saved their life. They asked to cut the car to bring them out of the car. The driver died instantly. So I'm here talking to you because by the grace of God. So again, my work into cleft program led me, and I became the first African to identify human mutation in cleft and palate, and that was my first publication. And I'm not going to do more work. I'm not going to bore you with the science, but this is how we move from almost nothing to really world-class genomic science. And these women are mothers of children with cleft and palate. We are not just looking for the causes, but making sure that their mental health is stable, their social life is balanced. And these are the women that I really love them so much because of their peer group support. And anywhere you see them, they always smiles. So many people complain of what they have. But these women have kids with cleft and palate, and they're still very happy, and we're trying to make them happy. Not all of them are very happy, but we're trying to ensure that they're all happy. So this year, last year, after getting the presidential award, the first thing that came to my mind was to celebrate that award with the kids and the family who kept their parents. And that was the celebration April 8th of this year. And I'm grateful to all the kids. And something always happens anytime I come to Nigeria. There's always a cleft child that brings me close to them. During this visit, I encountered a child that was abandoned by the mother. Professor Gobert introduced the child's grand auntie to me. And that child, I'm okay to adopt the child if the opportunity arises. But that's not the only story. Even this October, I was at last week for a graduation in nursing. I got there late. A lady was waiting for me. She said she wanted to leave, but something kept telling her to wait, that somebody was coming. And I got there and they introduced me as the third person. And she told me, Buchadi, I have a woman that has a child with Tourette's. She's trying to abandon that child. And I told her that somebody will help. And I got the woman's contact, called the nurse ahead of it, and now the woman is in contact and we're going to take care of the child with Tourette's. So there's something with these children. I thought it was research, I thought it was clinical. I think there is a spiritual connection between myself and this child. And he was saying, where are you in the room? You stand up. If you're in the room. He was saying, if you're not in the room. He was introduced to me by my primary school classmate, Shegun Moyiri. He was almost leaving last year because of his speech. He had a cleft palate. Shegun called me. I took Hiwasi, put him on scholarship, brought him to look, and his cleft palate was repaired. Today he's a graduate with 2 degrees, entrepreneurship and psychology. So coming back to my students, the impact is huge. These pictures were taken for what we call Dare to Discover. The only way you can get this picture taken by the University of Iowa is when your work is distinguishing and you make impact. I'm the only faculty on campus with 5 students recognized and the faculty itself recognized. 6 of us, never unprecedented at the University of Iowa. And as I'm talking to you, leveraging on my class experience, I took it to help my team, working with Dr. Osayeme. I won't go too much into this, but throughout my team, we supported hospitals with good news. And we also donated the first omnibus to Nigerian teaching hospital at the University of Benin Teaching Hospital. We got the makers of omnibus, our meeting with the US, to donate $40,000 capacity neonatal intensive care unit at the University of Benin Teaching Hospital. So this is my new challenge, Life of Impact. Our goal is every year to bring someone or 2 people to come energize their audience, to come share their journey, at least 5 days of impact. We're chasing people like Tobi Elumelu, Malala Yusuf, Belinda Gates and others. We want them to build this podium to talk to the crowd and to encourage the medical students that beyond medicine there are several ways you can give back and there's much more to life. And for me, this is my new challenge and I thought the journey started today. So, in closing, I'd like to thank my father and mentor, Professor Oladapo Ashiru. Thank you very much, sir, for your time and for agreeing to be the first chairman of the inaugural Life of Impact Symposium. We've just written history. I told the chair, Dr. Simisola, I said, to me, we've written history. And so, as I went down my speech, I'd like to also thank the keynote speaker, Professor Peter Mose, my father and mentor, who took me without knowing me. Mekoni Neshete. Mekoni is my second PhD student to do his PhD in my lab, even though he's a senior colleague. He's so humble that he said, I want to train with you. Second PhD from Africa. Thank you very much, Mekoni, all the way from Ethiopia. To my best friend and classmates, Dr. Labijo, we've been through the storm together. So I tell you the story we won't be here today. But thank you, Dr. for allowing me to work with you to change the lives of children without parents and to making them believe that there's a tomorrow. Thank you. Moses, I met Moses just last 2 years, and we think I've known him forever. He came up with this idea. I said, Moses, this is doable. I have supported foundations in Nigeria to start up and to sustain. We'll be together, and today Moses is here. Moses is building Zibit Ligo. What Moses is doing is very important. If you only know the mental health that comes with Ligo, you appreciate what he's doing. Thank you very much, Moses, for spending your time. This symposium would not have been possible if I didn't have the back and the support of a wonderful team led by Dr. Simisola Alagi, the founder of Simisola Alagi Foundation. So will you stand up? Thank you so much. I contacted her in February. I said, see, this is what I have in mind and I want you to chair the committee. And when she said yes, we started picking people. And in April, we started planning for this. 8 months. It wasn't trivial. We didn't want to take it lightly. And today we can see the results. Thanks to our leadership. The members are Boston Deborah and say, what? If you're in the wrong way. If you're in the Mr. Babatunde, Yakisa Kasibwe, Remy, Mustafa, the engine room, the secretary of the committee, Eunice, Kenge Butali, Tayo Butali, and all the students. The students also have their own local organizing committee. Sorry if I can't if I have not mentioned the name. The KB Club, all members, KB Club School Club, and this is in collaboration with KB Club. Thank you very much, KB Club. So these are the members I mentioned their names now, and I'm grateful to all of them. And finally, I would like all of you to help me answer this question, because I give all the glory to God, because as you can see, it's not by my might, it's not by my power. So please help me answer this question. Which of the favors of God can I deny? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations, mommy. And so, Prof, please move straight ahead. It's time for cutting of cake. Move to the cake, Prof. Auntie Yinka. So Prof will be joined by immediate family members for this topic. That is only Prof.
Very good. Any help? Any provided for any help provided?
Let's quickly recognize the Deputy Provost, College of Medicine, University of Lagos, Professor Daniel Odebi. He arrived just as Prof was rounding up. Photograph. Coming and not be retiring in the hall. You are standby to join from. So let's not forget we are sticking strictly to time. We are sticking strictly to time. So photos of Prof first. Okay, while we are having this conversation, I have skipped the introduction of the MC herself. Earlier to keep to time, because I was instructed by the chairman of the driving committee to please keep this time. But my name is Nima Akasha Sibiri. I am a lawyer, a farmer, a mother, and a co-host of #1 breakfast show in the whole of Nigeria. 13 years and counting. So photos with family members, mommy and all the representatives in the hall. Stand by to join from the pictures. That's are you okay like this? I extended family members and from our community to closing remarks, Mr. Mustafa Madi, I hope you stand by. He's coming. Please come up. So right after the immediate family members, extended family members includes me, Nefisa.
Starting on our existing protocol, as a kind of amazing here today, celebrating impact, talking about impact, showing impact. Family owners, final year students, and I want to sincerely thank you for making it possible.
Hello, Chief. Come on there now, Chief. Pro now. You go inside pictures. I'm going pictures now. Come back. Ah.
So I want to say a big thank you.
Thank you. I'm all alone now. You're working now.
Talking about changing lives, touching lives, and it shouldn't end here. So you need to build on what has started here and see how far it can take us. While we realize that there's no way
I know plan that's outside.
So also thank you again for that your presence here. Your talk was saying, is it possible? Are we going to keep this one? I said yes.
No, hello, let's divide it, please.
The greater part of the nation that is all has been done. So I want to say thank you again for that one. Same time, 2027, or later 2026,
Hold on.
you're having LOI, the life of the
See, some can go to the back. Please go to the back. Stay behind and light. Okay, nobody. Not be all you will take. No, I want you to talk to me now. Okay, don't talk now. Eric, all right. Light. Yeah. On your faces. Not the case.
Committee and University Leadership
Below now, but I just want to next. Below now, organize the committee. After this. Sorry, please, there is other